so I'm losing my voice a bit, so I'm going to do my best. This is all the hospital paperwork, and it's all what the doctors and nurses wrote about my mum while she was in hospital. It's all got care plan on the top. And as I say, doctors and nurses who looked after my mum on days that she wasn't in hospital and on days that she'd already died. So again, my mum went into hospital on the 21st of May 2018, and she died on the 24th of May 2018. I'm just going to start here with pictures of poo. I'm sorry about this, but it says Bristol stool chart. Now, this is supposed to be from Exeter, Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, and yet it's a Bristol stool chart. Maybe that's who, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. So I've got, as I say, it's doctor's handwriting. There's a 14. I'm going to take you in and show you. 14 the 5th, 18. I don't know if that's what it is, because she wasn't there. My mum wasn't in hospital on the 14th or the 15th. She wasn't there on the 16th. She wasn't there on the 17th. She wasn't there. This is 16th still. 16th, 17th. She wasn't there on the 17th. She wasn't there on the 18th. This is still 17, 18. There we go. She wasn't there on the 18th. She wasn't there on the 19th. She wasn't there on the 20th. But she was there on the 21st. But even that number 21 there looks like it's been changed to me. I'm just saying. She was there 20th. She was there the 22nd. She was there the 23rd. And she was there the 24th, which was the day that she died. I mean, that date there looks like it's been changed from a 30th, from a 1 look. It's just bizarre, look. She died on the 24th. I'm just showing you all the paperwork because it's just mad that there's so much paperwork, and it's been, I'd say it was written by 3 different people to make up all the rest of the hospital paperwork. You can see I've written it's nonsense on the top. 24th, Mum died on the 24th. So why there's writing after that on the 25th? If you notice, all of this handwriting, a lot of it is very similar because it was written by the same people, I believe. She wasn't there on the 25th, she wasn't there on the 26th, the 27th, or the 28th. In the hospital paperwork says she died on the 28th. Now, look, there's the date 28th, but what would you say that date actually was? Because to me, it doesn't half look like it's been scribbled over the top. It's something else. So yeah, hospital paperwork all goes up to the 28th. Mum was only there until the 24th when she died. She went in on the 21st and she died on the 24th. And everything says that she went in on the 14th, had an operation on the 15th, died on the 28th. She went in on the 21st. I was told she had an operation on the 22nd. She was messed up when I saw her. On the 23rd I saw her and she was messed up, and on the 24th I saw her and she was messed up and she was dead. She just died. And yet I'm not allowed to report any of this to the hospital, to the coroners. I just received a letter back from the police. I tried to report it to Devon and Cornwall Police, and Devon and Cornwall Police have done absolutely nothing at all about it. So I tried to report it to Dorset Police, and I got a letter back. I got an email back. If I can try and work out how to share my email, I will do that. But on the email, it says that I'd spoken to someone in Exmouth Police Station, which I did in August, about this, and they've looked into it again, and the coroner concluded that there was nothing awry, and so there's nothing that's going to be done. And the police have now written to me and said that the police are going to do nothing about this because the coroners have said and made their conclusion that there is nothing awry. And yet I know for a fact, because I was there on the day that she went in, I was there on the day that my mum died, and on the other days I wasn't there, and nor was my mum. But I'm not allowed to report this. There's something very odd going on if you're not allowed to report things to the police. If you have actual factual evidence and actual factual proof that your mum was in hospital on certain days and she wasn't there on other days, I just think that there's something very odd going on. And if I'm not allowed to report it to Devon and Cornwall Police or to Dorset Police, then who do I report a serious crime to? Because to me, the fact that she was there for 4 days and not 14 days would suggest that something untoward has happened to my mum. And as I say, who am I supposed to report it to? I've tried to report this higher up, and I'm still not getting anything. I've spoken to, I should think I've spoken to every solicitor and lawyers in Devon, in the Exeter area, and they won't do anything because they won't go against the coroner. Well, the coroner's wrong. The coroner's office got the dates wrong that my mum went into hospital, got the dates wrong that my mum died in the hospital. In the paperwork on the 28th, I don't know how I'm going to show you that. On the paperwork from the 28th, it says that my mum took off the identification band that was on her wrist. Now, 1, she wasn't there. 2, on the days that I saw my mum in the hospital, she was so messed up she couldn't even hold her own hands. She couldn't have taken it off. I mean, there's so much just absolute crap written about my mum in here. It says that she was very aggressive and she was biting and pinching people, and it's just nonsense. She couldn't do anything. On the day that she went in, she was absolutely fine. She'd complained about hurting her ankle, her shin, and on the day that afterwards, like immediately afterwards, let me just put it this way. My mum's last words to me was, "Cool, I hope I don't turn out like this lot in here, because they all look like vegetables." And I'm sorry to say that about people, but that's what they did. They just looked all white like ghosts. And then the very next day, she looked exactly the same. And it was horrific to see. And I am having to go through this over and over and over and over again. I've known since the 1st of June 2020 that the hospital paperwork, that the hospital, the coroner's office have all made this huge mistake and said that my mum went into hospital on the 14th, had an operation 15th, died on the 28th, and she didn't. And all the hospital papers and all that sort of thing, there's so many that have got dates that are just wrong and just messed up, and just, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you some of the absolute crap that's written. All the hospital paperwork looks like it's written by 3 people. There's only a couple of pieces of paper that say the actual dates that my mum was there, and aren't changed. And there we go. So these are just a few. These are like theatre records and all that sort of thing. Now, to me, the dates on these look changed. And then there's these ones here, 22nd, 23rd and 24th of May 2018. And they haven't been changed in any way at all. And yet other dates on here have been changed. Or I would have said they were changed, like that one there. I mean, that's just crap, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I just, there's so many dates. There's so many bits of paper that have got the governance number at the bottom of the page, and it's on a piece of paper like 3 to 5 to 10 years previous, and yet it's 2018 dated 2018 on the paperwork, and on the bottom of the paperwork's from 2015, 2014, 2006. Now, there is something very wrong. I'm not allowed to report it. I don't understand why I'm not allowed to report these things, but I'm not. There we are.